Hello everyone, and I think we should start the session now. So, first of all, I would like to welcome you all in the session. This is the day one of 10 days of open source presented by University by the Google DSC Club of UIT RGPV. And in this event, we'll be talking. These are some of the things that we'll be talking in this session, and for the further part, we'll also be having some more sessions in the upcoming days. So for this session, here are the agenda that we will be discussing: introduction to Git, introduction to GitHub, how to sign up for Hacktoberfest, how to look for projects and issues in Hacktoberfest using GitHub, how to contribute in open source and some open source programs. So in the introduction to Git part, we'll be talking about the how Git started, some motivation and importance of why actually is started, Git is created, and um, and we'll also look into some Git commands, some basic Git commands. We'll also create our first Git repository. We'll also look into some terms such as push, pull, merge, replace, Git branching, and everything. Uh, I also request you all to please mute yourself. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask. But other than that, please mute yourself. So for the introduction to Git part, we'll be covering some Git commands, and furthermore, we'll be looking in GitHub how to create a GitHub repository, and we'll connect that GitHub repository with our local Git, which is Git repo which we have created. And then we'll cover Hacktoberfest. We'll cover how to look for projects. As Google DST, we also have our own project in which you can contribute to under Hacktoberfest. And if you have joined the yesterday's session, you may have heard of them. And then we'll also look into some open source programs such as Google Summer of Code, MLH Fellowship, and much more. So I think let's get started. So first of all, what is GDSC? So GDSC are just a Google Developer Student Club, which are created by students only, which are for each and every student, and we help bridge the gap between theory and practice. So our motto is learn, build, share, and grow. So so for the first part of session, we'll be looking at what exactly Git is. And also, we want this session to be interactive, and we also like that, and we also like this session to be interactive. And if you all have your laptops with you, laptops or PC, whatever, with you, it will be great if you can also follow along when we'll be covering into some Git concepts later on for the session. So first of all, let us look at what exactly Git is. So Git is a software which is used for tracking changes in any set of files. This is just a basic. This is just a little bit theoretical part. We'll be doing all of this in under a practical implementation, and I hope that you will understand all of it later on when we do the practical implementation. So it is usually used for coordinating work among programmers. Like for example, I have a big project under which 10 other developers are working together. So to make our things easier for all the 10 developers, Git is basically invented so that all of them can work effectively together under the same code, and they can fork the repository. They can work under their own code, and then they can have a central repository in which all of that code is stored. So if this all looks complex to you, don't worry. We'll be, as I said, we'll be exploring further in this. So basically, there is also a nice historical part behind how Git is invented. So if you have heard of Linux, the Linux kernel, which is developed by Linus Torvalds, he is the guy. He is the person who also invented Git, and Git is basically invented so that they can effectively collaborate in the development of Linux kernel only. So one necessity leads to another, and then Git is created. So looking further, let us first look at why Git is important. Like we heard so much about Git right now, but why is it important? So for that, I think we should just look into some practical aspect of it. So what I have right now is a simple index.html file. So let us also open the code in my Visual Studio Code so that we can look further into what it exactly is and how we need Git in this part. So this is basically just a normal bare bone code which consists of just a hello world program. Okay, so let us say I have an HTML file with a title such as document and then H1 tag such as hello world in this program. Let me also open this in live environment so that we can directly check our changes. So yeah, this is just a hello world program. So now imagine I would like to add some more text in this report in this program, such as let us say I also add a H2 tag such as by. I also add an H3 tag such as whatever, and the list is endless. Okay, and I save the part. Now, if I refresh the server, I can see the changes here also. But now, this is a very bare one project. But imagine we make such changes in a big project. Okay, like we keep on adding such files. I have so much whatever here. Okay, and I just added all of that changes here. And now imagine I don't want these changes. Uh, After some time, what I just needed is just a hello world program. But all of this whatever are unnecessary. So right now it looks easy. Like if I want to go back to my previous changes, I can just remove this part manually from here. Like I can just select them all, put a backspace, and I get the previous programs which I needed. But imagine a big program, like a program which consists of thousands of lines of code. And in that case, we can't just manually go back to the previous part. So in that case, a Git repository is necessary. It is very important so that so one of the features of Git is that I can directly go back to my previous changes. Like imagine I just have this hello world program here. I add this in my Git repository. I then make a change with this by h2 tag here. Then I add this in my Git repository. Then I add all this whatever text, and then I add it to the Git repository. And then what I can do is that I can go back to all these previous stages. I can just remove this whatever text. I can also, if imagine I want them back again. I want this whatever changes again here after deleting them. I can also get them again in if I have a Git repository. And also like imagine I have all this code, and then somehow a cat steps in my computer. Somehow all of my changes get deleted. Okay, like if anything gets written and the program gets saved, and somehow my Visual Studio also stops. So now, is there any way that I can get these changes back? Currently, as I don't have a Git repository, there is not. Like even if I press undo, it won't work because I have saved the changes and I have totally gone out of the session. But in if I have a Git repository instead, it shouldn't happen. I can just get my changes, the all the whatever tags and all the H2 H3 tags that we have previously. I can get them back if I had a Git repository. But right now, there is no way. If somehow all of our changes got replaced by a bug, imagine in a big code, I wrote a code which is buggy, which have some errors, and then I saved the code, and then there is no way I can go back to the previous changes. So if you have a Git repository, all of this process gets much easier. Okay, so this is just a basic overview of why Git is important. There are many other importance that you can get from using Git. We'll look into all of them later on. So, okay, so we've looked into some examples of why Git is important. Now, going further, here is a little comparison between what you can get before Git and how you can improvise all of it using Git. So developers used to submit their code to the server without having copies of their own. So imagine you're working on a project in which there are four people working together. Okay, and you don't use GitHub anything. So how you can do that is that you will probably make some changes. You'll share the code in a zip file or any particular format with with all the three other developers. Then these three developers work on their part, and then they share in with you. And then imagine the process. Imagine how tiresome it can be. And here we are talking only about four people. But imagine when hundreds of developers are working on this. So imagine you making a zip file and sharing this with 99 other people. And then these 99 people, first of all, they need to tell you that I am the one who will be working. And then he will make some changes. And by the time he will make the changes, all of you have to wait so that you can synchronize all of your system repositories easily. But all of this tiresome process can be made much easier if you use Git. So this is particularly how you can make your task easier by using Git. So here is a little comparison. Now looking further, let us make a practical demo of how we can use Git. So before moving further, I would like if you all can follow along with me in this part. So for that, one of the main requirement is that you should have the Git terminal installed in your system. So I would also, if it is possible, we can have a poll on Microsoft Teams or Discord asking whether you have Git installed in your system or not. Or you can just write it in the chat box or unmute yourself and tell me if you have Git installed in your system or not. So, so that we can move further. I will definitely tell you the process of how to install Git. But before that, just a little overview so that we can further automate our process. I also see Yasir Khan has hands raised on. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me out. Yeah, Shalil has saying that he has Git installed in his system, and it is nice if you have. If you don't have, also feel free. There is no limitation or anything. You can just let me know, and we'll definitely go in the part on how we can install Git also. Yeah, I can see many people have are saying that they have Git installed, and Suyog is saying that he don't. No need to worry. So I'll also tell you how you can install Git. So it's not a big process. You can just search for Git, anything, download Git in Google or any particular search engine, and you'll get this link, Git SCM. I also share the link in the chat section. Uh, Yeah, here is the link. You can just go to this link, select your operating system, which is Windows in my case, but you can also select your operating system you are using. You can just click on this Windows, and then that's it. Your download will be started. You can just click on the particular directory that you want, and you can just click on save. You can then open this exe file, and then there will be just some minor steps that you need to complete. In this is in case of Windows. In case of Mac, maybe you need to there is another extension file, and you need to just open that file, and Git will be installed. You also need to have Git in your environment file, which is automatically handled in case of Windows. You just need to press on a checkbox if I remember correctly, and the Git will be downloaded. So also, if you have any doubts whether Git is installed or not, what you can do is you can just go to the terminal. That is command prompt in many cases, or Windows terminal, PowerShell, anything is suitable. You can just go to the PowerShell, and you can write git minus b version will be, yeah. You can just type git minus minus version. And if you see something such as git version here, then that means that you have git installed in your system. If you don't get anything here, if you get any error here, then that means git is not installed. You can just go to this download link and download git in your system. So I think I can just wait for some minutes. If some of you don't have git installed, I have GitHub Desktop installed in my machine. Will it work? For GitHub Desktop, I think you should check out this Git version part here first of all. If you get this version, then I think it should work. If you don't get this, then you should download the Git terminal part also, so that because we can't use we are not using GitHub Desktop directly here. I also have GitHub Desktop installed in my system, but I'm not directly using that. That's why. If it is showing commands, yeah, sure. That's perfectly all right. Okay, so if Git is installed, we can then move on to the next part, that is using Git commands. So I'll just wait for 1 minute in case anyone wants to have any check or anything, or if someone don't have Git installed, they can follow along. Okay, so yeah, Prashik is saying that he is installed. That's great. There is also a poll. Have you installed Git? You can answer the poll also. I have installed Git. So many people are voting that they have installed Git. It is nice. So I think we can now proceed to the further part of the session. So now you have Git installed. So what we'll do is we'll create a dummy repository. We'll create a dummy project to make it more easily, and then we'll initialize a Git repository in that project. The project will be what I'm thinking is that just to create a basic index.html page, and then for the later part, we'll also create a GitHub repository, and we'll add that project in the GitHub repository also, so that we can have a practical implementation of that. So to do that, first of all, let me create a new folder in my system. So I'll create a new folder. And also, I would like you all to follow along. So this will be an interactive session. We can name the folder with anything. I'm naming this session demo. in this folder, what I would like to do is just to have a dummy index.html repository, and then we'll use all the git commands in this repository in this project also only. So to do that, I'll open the folder with my Visual Studio Code. You can use any preferred IDE. Demo, and demo is the folder. I have opened the folder in my Visual Studio Code. You can use any ID, and we'll just create a basic index.html file. So this is index.html. And what I'll do is I'll just use the Visual Studio extension to just have a bare bone HTML file here. And in the body, as we have done previously, I'll just add an h1 tag of hello world. And that's it for right now. If you have followed along, it will be great. So, what we have done is just I have created an empty folder. I have named the folder with session demo. You can name it anything you want. That is none of the concern. And I have created an index.html file in there with a basic hello world program. Okay, so that's all. So now I have this index.html file here. Now what I want is to initialize a Git repository in for this project, for the whole project. Okay, so to do that, what I would do is that I would open my terminal for this terminal in this particular path. Uh, you can also like go to the start menu, search for command prompt and open it. Since this is what many people are doing, I will also use the command prompt only so that it will become easier for us to synchronize ourselves. So right now also I have this users Ankur Gupta path here. That is the default path of command prompt. There is one way how that you can directly do that. Like you can go to this folder. You can click on open in Windows Terminal. If you are on Windows 10 or lower versions, you must see something similar here. If someone with Windows 10 can also let me know what exactly he is getting. So you can just click on this open in Windows terminal, and you can get this directly opened in your PowerShell. So if you don't, what you can do is you can just press E here. E is the hard disk directly which I am using. That is E in my case. For your case, it can be anything. So I'm pressing E, and then I'm going to my session demo folder. So to do that, I'll just press CD. CD is change directory, and then I'm pressing session. You can also like after writing half of your name, you can just press tab, and it will automatically complete the folder name. So I'm going to my repository, and that's it. This is how I can go to my particular folder, and then I need to initialize my Git repository in this folder. So first of all, I would like to confirm if you have opened the command prompt and you have reached the particular directory in which you have opened the file. So please let me know first of all so that we can follow along. We can also have a poll here. That case, like have you opened the command prompt or something? So I think someone can you can also like unmute yourself and let me.
Sir, I installed Git. So, excuse me, sir.
You have installed Git,
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
yes, sir. Just now it installed. So what I can do next? That's what I think.
So what is you
Go to the
can
command
you
prompt.
can yes, you can go to the command prompt. Have you done that?
Yes, sir. I'm in.
Okay. So now what you can do is you write git minus minus version so that you can confirm that you have git installed in your system. First of all, here is the
Yes, sir.
command git
Two
minus
point.
minus version. Yes, you are getting the
Yes, sir.
version.
Two
Then
point
that,
double.
okay, then that's great. Now what we'll be doing is we are creating a dummy project and we are adding that in our git repository. So what you can do is you can go to any of your files in file manager. You can create a new folder. You can name it anything, and then in that folder you can just have this index.html file with any bare bone code. Okay, so I can also share my code. You can just copy paste this code in your index.html file or anything. It can be anything. We are just will be using this code to make changes and everything so that it becomes easier for you to follow along. Yeah, Manoj, have you created this index.html file?
Yes, sir. I created. I'm just copying the code.
Okay, then that's great. Just let me know when you have completed. So now that we are in this folder, what you need to do, first of all, you need to initialize a Git repository. So I'll just wait for some more minutes so that everyone can follow along. Manoj, shall I continue? Have you created the index.html file?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I created, and in the preview I can say hello world.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And then what you can do is you can go to this folder in which you have created the index.html file and you can open your PowerShell or command prompt in that folder. In my case, I am just in that folder. I have right clicked and this open in part the Windows terminal option is there. I can just open this Windows terminal and that's it. That's where we all are right now. So, and also, if you directly open command from the start menu, you need to enter into the particular directory. To do that, what I have done is that I have first of all I have moved to the E hard disk of my file manager. Then I have gone to the session demo folder which I have created by using change directory command, and that's it. That's all we are right now. So now, after doing that, what you need to do is to initialize a Git repository. For that, you need to write Git init here, and that's all. As you can see, here is this initialized empty Git repository. So you have then initialized an empty Git repository in the file. Okay, so please write the Git init command and let me know if you have completed. What we are using currently is Git init. You can if you have a GitHub repository and you need to add that repository in your local system, there is also this git clone command. We are not discussing this command right now. We can maybe move for this in the further part. So after using git init, what you have done is that you have initialized an empty git repository. So in this git repository that you have initialized, there is no index.html file currently. It is just an empty project. Okay. So now we need to make some more changes and move further along. So before moving further, I just need to tell you some of the Git workflows, that how the workflow is exactly managed. Just a moment. So the Git workflow is basically three stages. The Git repository, which we have initialized currently. Okay. Then this staging area, where we press this git add command, and the changes will be reflected in this staging area. Okay. And here is this working directory, that is our index.html file, where we have our changes, where we have our particular project. Okay. So there are these three layers, you can say, in which the Git workflow is divided. So what we currently have is a working directory and the Git repository. We have not connected with them right now. We have a separate working directory which have our index.html file, and we have this Git directory which we have initialized using the git init command. Okay. So what we need to do next in the next part is we need to have this work to add the changes of this working directory in our staging area. Okay. And then after adding these changes in our staging area, we need to commit these changes in our git directory, that is the git repository. And after doing all of that, our changes, that is our index.html file here, will be added in the git repository. It sounds complex, but it is not at all complex. There are even some Visual Studio extensions and some other things such as GitHub Desktop, which make this process much more easier. And even using Git terminal is very much easier. It is just a little bit theoretical part in which we are working right now, but it is not at all complex. You'll just realize that in later on. So yeah, so we have initialized the Git repository. Now for the next part, we will be adding our changes. The changes right now is the index.html file. We will be adding our changes in our staging area. Okay. So to do that, let me show you how we can do that also. So I have this git init here. I have initialized my repository. Now what I would do is that I would write git add index.html. By using this git add, we will add our index.html in our staging area. Okay, the staging area is the mid part that we have used here, the staging area part. Okay, so by pressing this git add, we have added this in our staging area. Now what we will do is we will commit our changes in the main git repository. So how you can do that is you need to write git commit space -n. I'll also share all of these commands in the chat section. Git commit -n, and in quotes you will need to write the changes which you have done, or a short message of the changes which you have done. So in my case, I would just write added a index.html file, and then I'll press enter. So as you can see, one file has been changed. 12 insertions. 12 insertions here means that 12 lines of code has been added. You can see 12 lines of code, and that's it. I have committed my changes in the main report in the Git repository. Okay, so this is how we can commit your changes. I'll also share all of these commands in the chat section. You can also get the whole PPT template. Yes, yes.
Sir, why I do parallelly like you, but I'm getting the greater than symbol in the command prompt.
Your voice is little unclear. Can you say it again?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Uh, I run that command, commit message. Then I'm getting author identity unknown. So what is it?
Yeah. Got it. Actually, you need to also set your usernames and email ID. I'm sorry from my part, I skipped that part because um, I already have that set up. But yeah, let me just search for the exact command. Git config command. I'll share the command with you. I'm sorry, I just I totally forgot that you also need to add your usernames here. Yeah, that's
No, sir.
all
It's
you.
totally okay.
Yeah, you need to like set up your username here. So uh, yeah. So first of all, you need to add this command git config. The global tag here means that you need to add these changes globally in your whole system, and then you need to add your your email, your GitHub email or any email that you are using. Uh, you need to replace this your email at the rate example.com with your real email. Okay? So I think you also need to add your um, with the email. I think you also need to add the username. Yeah, username. After adding your email, you also need to add your username here. And this can be your GitHub username if you have a GitHub account, or it can be just your normal email, normal name, such as Ankur Gupta in my case. So if any of you are experiencing such errors, you need to add these two commands which I have right in the chat box in your uh, command prompt or PowerShell, whatever you are using. Manoj, just add these commands and let me know if you are facing any issues.
Sir, I added, but there is no like while I do GitHub version, it showed the version command. But when I added that git config the global username, it doesn't show anything, but it still shows that users HP like that only.
Hello,
It
sir.
doesn't show my name.
Hello.
Yes, Abdul?
Yes, sir. It worked. I did it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's working in your system, Abdul?
Yes, sir. It's working in my system. I typed means I gave the command configuration global user dot email. I gave my email and my username, and after that I run the commit command using that message. Added index.html file, and it got added. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So,
working.
Manoj, let me know what issue exactly are you facing so that we'll resolve because it is working in oppose system. So,
Sir, we should do it in git bash or it's enough in doing in command prompt.
you can directly do it in command prompt.
But while I use that, it still shows that users HP. It doesn't show my name while I add.
Can you share what exactly is it showing?
Sir, it is showing I typed git config global user dot email. Then when I press enter, it again shows see users HP. That's it only.
Have you replaced the coach part with your own email ID?
Sorry, sir. I can't hear you again, please.
Have you um, have you added your own email ID here in the
Sir,
your example?
for For creating this Git, I used my college email ID so that I can get GitHub
That's not an
developer
issue.
pack.
But have you added in it in the codes in the proper format which I have mentioned here?
But I mean that which user email ID I should add? My
It
one
can
or
be.
school's?
Do you have a GitHub account?
Yes, sir, I had.
Then I suggest you should add the email ID in which you are registered from GitHub. But it's not necessary. In this Git config, you can add any of your email ID. But since we will also need to connect it with GitHub in the later section. It would be great if you use the GitHub email ID only.
Sir, when I used my one, it shows invalid key. So now I am trying with my college mail ID.
You also need to add this username here.
It still shows.
Manoj, is it working now?
Sir, it still shows invalid key while I type both the email IDs.
You should not get invalid key. Not sure about that. Let me also search for the issue. You can just do that like I'm doing. Invalid key in Git. Error invalid key in Git. It already shows, and there's a Stack Overflow issue that you can follow along. But key error is not. It doesn't happen right now because we are not using any private repository or something. Anyways, I think I'll get back to you after the session in that case because you can't
Okay, sir,
that,
I
but
can
I'll
wait.
share this.
I can wait till the
Yeah,
last so that after everyone can leave, we can resolve the problem.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have also shared this Stack Overflow link. We can look into that after the session. So let's move on
Okay, sir.
because we are
Okay,
taking too much time. But yeah.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So what we have done is that we have added this repository. We have initialized an empty .git here also. Uh, we have uh, we have committed our changes at our index.html file also, and then what we'll do in the for next is we'll use the git diff command to check out what are the changes that we have currently done. So right now, since we have already committed our changes, we should not see anything in the git diff command. What yeah, you can see it doesn't return anything. What git diff does is that it shows you the difference between your local changes and your Git repository. It shows you the difference. Okay, so let me show you practically. We have this index.html that we have added in our Git repository. Now I'll add another change in this file. I'll also write by world or anything, and then I have saved the changes, and then I'll write git diff again. And now you can see this by world change. You can directly see here. So the git diff command shows you the difference between the Git repository, between the files that you have in your Git repository and the files that you have made changes in your local repository. Okay, so right now it shows the by world as a green part with a plus line here, which shows you that this is a new change that needs to be added. That is not as added right now. You can also confirm this by using git status. You can see that index.html file has been modified, and we have not added our changes in the main file. In similar way, we have made this new change, and then we need to add this change in our repository. So we'll do the same steps that we have done previously. I will write get add and index.html. Also, if you have multiple files, for example, you have a style.css also here, you can write that also in this way, and you can directly add all of these changes by using just a dot key here. So get add dot. That will directly look for all of the files in your particular directory. So after using get add, what we have previously done is we have used get commit -m and the commit message here. So in this commit, what we have done is that we have added an s2 tag with by word. So in my commit message, I would just write wrote by word, and that's it. So yeah, you can see I have committed my changes, and I can also see one file change and one insertion. If I have modified something, if I would have modified something in hello world, I would also get one updation or something like that in here also. So this is how we can commit our changes, how we can track our differences in the main system in the local system in the Git repository. So I can also reset my changes. So for example, I have made this commit by mistake. Then I can also reset the whole file, the index.html file, by using this git.
Sir, you are not audible.
Hello. Oh, sorry. I think I got muted somehow. Thank you for reminding. Can you please tell me the last part which you heard?
My word commit.
Hello.
So just after the commit part.
Um, okay, just after the commit.
Okay.
Hello. Your voice is breaking. Can anyone confirm the last part that you heard in the session?
PowerShell git commit. minus m dot y.
git commit. Okay, okay. So let me do it again. So what we have done here is that I have added this git commit here. I have made my changes locally, and I have committed the changes in the um, main repository. Okay. So also, is my voice clearly audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what we have done is that we have added a commit message. I hope the git diff part which I have told was audible at that time. The git diff, we have used the git diff, git status, and git recent commands. I hope these commands are also um, I was visible till then, or not. Let me know, and I'll show it to you all again.
Sir.
Can anyone let me know? Hello.
So you can
Okay, so I think we can proceed to the branching. So hello. I hope everyone is everything is clearly audible right now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. So let's move on. So what we are talking about are branching in Git now. So imagine I need to add an style.css in my index.html page file. Okay. So what we currently have is just a bare bone project of index.html, and now I need to add a new feature that is styling in my website. Okay. So for that, imagine I have done just little bit changes um, that currently are not suitable for directly production. That I don't want everyone to get these changes because they are not currently stable, and they have some errors. Maybe if everyone gets the changes, they all will get that error. Okay. So for that, what I can do is I can create a new branch. So I can create a new branch and name it such as styling. Okay, I'll name that branch as styling, and I can work on that branch. I can make all of my changes in that branch, and then afterwards, when I have completed my changes, when it looks promising, and when the whole file looks like it can be merged into the main system, then I can just uh, merge that branch in my main branch. So by default, when you make this git init command, you are currently at the main branch. Okay. So you are currently at the main branch. But afterwards, after creating your new branch, you can go to that branch. You can work on that branch, and then after all of your changes are completed, you can go to the main branch again. Okay. So this is how the branching works. As you can see in this demonstration, you can add a small feature. You can go to the branch, and that's all. So we can also do that right now practically. So currently, let us again go to the command prompt, and let us create a new branch where we will add some more changes in our index.html file. Such as let us write um, git branch, and let us create a new branch. So someone tell me your name. I'll add that name as a branch name. Okay. So anyone just tell your name. Come on, I'm giving you the opportunity to become a Git branch. um, Anyone who wants to volunteer? Or I'll just use Manoj name, okay? So Git branch, Manoj. So we what we have done is we have created a new branch named as Manoj. In this branch, Manoj will make his changes. For example, now I have created a branch right now, but I am not in that branch. To get all the branch status, I can also write git branch, and I can see right, this is the Manoj one and this is the master branch. Let me also create another branch, git branch new. Okay, and let us see the branch statuses. So currently I'm at the master branch. So I'm seeing this green command here over master. Okay, um, there are also these two new branches which I have created right now. That is Manoj and new. So now imagine I want to work in the Manoj branch. Okay, I'm Manoj and I want to work with my changes in my own branch. I don't want to work in the master branch because master branch is basically where all the changes are used by everyone. So I don't want everyone to get my changes. So I'll just write git checkout Manoj, and I'll switch to the Manoj branch. Okay, and then I'll make my changes in that branch only. Like suppose I want to add another H3 tag here. I am whatever I am GDSC workshop. Okay, and that's it. I have added another command here. I also want to delete this hello world. I don't want it, so I have deleted that also, and that's it. I have made my changes. Let us also see the differences in the difference. Yeah, like I have removed the hello world, so I can see a minus here. I have added this I am GDSC workshop, so I'm seeing this plus here. Now I would just add these changes in my own branch. My branch here refers to the Manoj branch. Okay, so I would write git add dot, and dot refers to all of the files, and then I'll commit my changes in the, so I'll write git commit minus n, um, changed hello world. Okay, and yeah, so as I already told, you can also see the deletion here now. So git commit, I have committed my changes, and that's all. So I am working on the new branch. I have made some changes, and now I am doing these changes in the do different branch. Okay. So now imagine my changes are completed. Like I have changed the hello. I have made my changes. Everything is working perfectly now, and I need to add these changes in the main branch. So to do that, we need to write git. Um, First of all, I need to check out on the main branch, which is master here, because in git master, I see this master written over here. So I'll just go to git checkout master. I have switched to main branch master to the branch master, and then I'll write git merge Manoj. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, now I have made I have added the changes in Manoj branch in main branch. Okay, so this is how the branching and everything works. I hope it is clear to you. If it's not, I'll share all of the recordings, PPT, and the demonstration after the session. And just let me know if you have any queries. What we have done is just we have created a new branch. We have added in our changes in that branch. The changes here refers to we have just added this H3 tag. Then I have checked out to that branch. Checking out means I am changing my branch to from master to whatever branch I have created, and then I'm making the changes in that branch. Okay. So and then I have merged the Manoj branch in the main branch. That's all. So this is how branching works. It seems complex right now because as a in little programs you don't particularly need branches, but in many major projects branching is a necessary part. Okay, so that's why. So so now that we have created a branch, we can just add the branch in our remote, add a remote in our branch by using this git remote add command, and in that way we get this whole particular repository. So I'll also do that. I'll also uh, go to github.com and create a remote repository and create a new repository. Let us name it test, and I have created this. I am creating this repository. I after creating it, and GitHub is a big topic. We'll go into the whole topic in the next session. Right now, I am just creating an empty Git repository so that it becomes easier for you to follow along. So I have created this Git repository. Okay, I'm copying this Git this .git file, and then I'm just adding this Git in my remote. So Git remote add origin. Origin is just a particular keyword which is used by default by many. It is just it is just a convention, you can say. So you can write git remote add origin, and then you can paste your repository .git file, and then that's it. You have added the remote in your system. Now that you have added this remote, what you need to do is just to execute the git push command, and that's it. You can then see all of your changes, the index.html, the previous changes, everything directly here only. So so now I'll write git push origin main, and I think main one, right? It is master. Yeah, as you can see, I have added my changes in the master repository. So I'll just click refresh this, and as you can see, I have made totally 3 commits in the project. I have I think I have added only one branch here. As you can see, the master here refers to the master branch. I can also add other branches, so such as the Manoj branch which we have created. I can also add that branch here, and when I refresh, I can also see that branch right now, like master and Manoj, and I can see all of my commits here. So first of all, what we have done is that we have added this only an index file. These are all the commit messages that we have wrote previously. So we have added an index file. We have wrote this by world. Then we have changed the hello world. That's all. This is how you can see the whole commit history. You can also go back to the previous commit. So let us also do that. So right now we have this. Okay. Now imagine I just want to go to the first part where we have only hello world. So I can just copy this commit, commit, this old commit of index.html file. I can just press on this copy. I can write git checkout, and then I'll paste the exact path which we have copied from here, and I'll just press enter, and yeah, I have switched to that branch. And now if I look here, I can get my previous message, that is hello world, right now. And in case you wish that you want to go back to your next thing, you can also do that. You can just press on this, and you can just copy this here, and you can just go back to the recent changes again. So this is how important it is to use Git. So now I have checked it out to the main stage where where we were, and look at it. This I got the changes again here. So you get everything recorded very nicely here in this way, and this is how you can directly do your changes. So that's it for the session. That this today we have used the Git branching, and we have looked into the further parts of Git, and in the next session we'll be looking into Hacktoberfest and into GitHub, because I think we have already completed the session timeline. So for the next session we'll be covering GitHub and Hacktoberfest and everything open source, and we also have some upcoming sessions on introduction to web development, and much more for the next session. So that's it. If you have any queries, just feel free to ask me out now.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Andre.
Sir, please provide today's recording.
Yeah, you will be provided with the recording. The session is also live streamed on YouTube, I guess. So you can also get everything on YouTube, and I'll share the particular recordings as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'll also share with you the presentation after the session in the Meet chat only, and in the YouTube video description also you will get that.
Oh, okay, sir.
If anyone have any other queries, please feel free to ask me out.
Just shared in the chat box. Some issue.
Yeah, master does not appear to be a gift editor. Not feed. Have you? I think you are in the videos folder. Have you? Are you sure that you have added your index.html and you have used git init in that folder only?
Yes,
Because
yes. I have named
okay,
that folder as VIDs.
okay. So, have you used the git init and all of the other commands?
Yes, yes. All other are working. Only push master is not working and push
Oh,
Omkar.
I just realized you forget to add git push origin. You need to add origin. Git push origin mask name. Try adding that. I think it should work now.
Okay, okay.
Origin, as I said, is just a keyword which is used by GitHub. It is a kind of convention, you can say. It is not particularly important to write just origin, but it is a convention that is used by many. But you need to write git push origin and then your branch name. If the branch name can be Omkar, Master, or whatever branches which you have created. Let
Okay.
me know if it is working afterwards.
Yes, just a second.
If anyone else also have any doubts, just let me know.
Also, while cloning, I get this error.
Can you share the error screenshot in the chat section?
Yes, I have shared.
Git push origin master. I think it is due to the config only, because like you need to add your details. Have you added the config files which we have talked about previously?
Yes, I have added.
In that case, like I would in my if it happened to me, I would just search for the same error. I would just copy paste the error and I will make a Google search, and probably Stack Overflow will resolve the issue. So that's how you can also approach this problem. So yeah, we will also like try to work on this. So get address
Just for
input.
it, they are asking to disable the firewall and antivirus which we have.
Um, I don't think that will be necessary. Like Shinde is saying, SSH not config properly. Yes, I'm also thinking the same. You need to add SSH also. Okay, I think it is due to that recently GitHub has changed some policies because previously you can it would work properly, but right now afterwards you need to add your SSH keys and everything. So that's why probably can you please connect with me afterwards the session? We'll surely look into that after the session.
Okay, okay. Will
Yeah,
work.
you can in any case you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll share my LinkedIn profile here, and yeah, you can just ping me a message, and we'll try to resolve them because
Sure.
like I don't want to extend the session. In that.
Yeah, right.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, sure. You can also you can also join the GDSC page. Someone will share the link, and you will also get the further sessions information through that page also. Okay, so if you have any other queries, please feel free to ask me out.
Not, I had stopped at git config global username.
Yeah, and also in your issue,